This is a pan that is one of the best things that you can have in your kitchen. Hi, my name is Srikant and welcome to our channel Happy Belly Fish. And today we are going to talk something that's a kitchen essential, right? Pans. You all need to have a pan if you want to cook at home. And this is my story. I used to have non-stick pans and then I slowly started getting tired of them. You know, they would wear off and you kind of feel like you're wasting your money on these pans that don't even last. One wrong move, you have a scratch on the pan and then it's gone. So I switched to carbon steel pans, and my expectations were that this will be the pan that will replace my non-stick cookware. So I opened the box, read the instruction, and all it said was just wash it nicely to remove the wax coating and then put some oil on it and heat it for some time. And in 20 minutes, your pan is seasoned and it will perform just like a non-stick cookware. This was the expectation. But of course it did not work like that. So first thing you need to know when you use carbon steel pan is that it will never replace your non-stick cookware. In fact, it should not. It's a healthy option on its own. You will use more oil on this pan than you will use on a non-stick cookware. But trust me, this will not give you damaging effects or this will not hurt your health. So what's the one thing that happens to people when they use this carbon steel pan? They want to use it just like they were using their non-stick pans or pots. So they want to cook all type of food. They want to have this pot as an all-purpose pot or pan. So when you use it in cooking, which involves acidic food, something like tomato or vinegar, what it's going to do is it's going to remove the seasoning. Now, what is seasoning here? So seasoning is a way to treat this pan or even cast iron pans where you make the surface very smooth. So you take an oil which is having a very high smoking point. Most people recommend using grapeseed oil, which is actually quite expensive, and you put quite a lot of it and then you heat it at a very high heat for a very long time. And this was a trouble. I used to live in an apartment with smoke detectors, and this process of seasoning generates a lot of smoke. And I was completely scared. I would close the kitchen door and wait for this smoke detector to kind of go off. So if you're trying to season this pan completely, into this dark surface so that it behaves just like a non-stick pan, then maybe you should start thinking differently. If you don't think about it as a non-stick pan, then you will not try to season it to that perfection. And there's a very good reason for it. So this is a pan, if you see, it's not completely black. It's smooth enough. Most of the food will not stick to it when I use some oil in it, but I use it as a wok to fry my noodles or rice, and I use a lot of vinegar or sometimes even tomato. So a lot of acid goes into it. So the seasoning wears off. And now this is a pan in which I make pancakes, omelets, dosas. So here I'm not using any acidic food. So you can see the surface is nice, smooth and black. Still, I need to use some amount of oil on it. And what I'm trying to say here is that this has kind of seasoned on its own purely by usage. As you keep on using it over a period of time, it will get its own seasoning. You don't have to put that extra effort by putting it 2 to 3 hours in an oven with oil so that it seasons and becomes a non-stick pan, right? So that expectation part, get that very clear. All right, I saved you from the part where you have to do this seasoning, I saved you a lot of time and energy and money. So what can you do? You just have to take good care of this pan. By that I mean that make sure that you don't leave it in the kitchen sink and think that okay, I'm going to wash it tomorrow, or just leave food in it with all the gravy and then go disappear somewhere. It will also poison the food. There's something called metal poisoning, and it will also damage the pan. So once you have washed this pan, you can tap it dry with cloth or kitchen tissues, and then heat the pan. That's what I do. I always heat this pan again so that any moisture that is there in the pan is gone. And towards the end, I drop some oil, very few tiny drops of oil, and then use a tissue paper and then wipe it on the surface, both inside and outside. This way I'm able to keep this pan lasting for a very long time. I've actually been using this pan for more than 2 years now, and trust me, there's no corrosion, and I'm very happy with this pan. It doesn't look all that beautiful. When you unpack it, it looks amazing. You know, the entire surface is like one color, and with usage, it kind of looks like a pan that is not so expensive. But who cares? This is a pan that is one of the best things that you can have in your kitchen. Now, coming to washing, don't use detergents. Do not put them in a dishwasher. They will completely destroy this pan. What you can do, if you are somebody who drinks a lot of coffee, then you can use this coffee ground, which is actually the one that you take out of the mocha pot, and then use that to wash it or scrub it nicely. You don't have to use this very corrosive stainless steel scrubbers. You know, they will completely scratch the pan. So you can use used coffee ground and wash the pans. This will also take away that smell that is there sometimes from very strong tasting food. There are a lot of options other than carbon steel pan. If this is something that is very painful for you, there are better options also. We have created actually a video where you will find in great detail about all the options that you can choose from. And the link is there in the description. So I have two different types of pan here. One is like a wok, another one is like a pancake pan. And you know, both of these serve their own purpose. I've actually dropped a link to these pans below, the brand that I trust the most. So you can check them out. And it might seem like a one-time investment, but if you really look at it, it's been more than 2 years and it's so good even now. If I had an expensive non-stick pan, I would have lost it by now. So that's like a lost investment. This one is not. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. But yes, before I leave, don't forget to subscribe.